Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your June 2025 reading. My name is Nigel, and you have found alchemy. Okay, I'm not sure if you listened to your spring reading, but these cards here, the reason they weren't shuffled, I don't know if you watched the shuffle, but these were out already, and they're from your spring reading. As promised, I re-pulled them so we could sort of build a reading around it and expand upon that information. Very soon, your summer reading will be coming out, so definitely stay tuned for that. Okay, so I'll rehash this a little bit so I'll refresh your memory, or if you didn't watch it, I will explain things enough to where you won't be lost. You do have the Five of Swords, and this is a sort of expansion card in the deck, right? There's an alternate, this is the alternate version, I should say, right? And yes, it still represents conflict, but this is a bust of the goddess Aphrodite, very famous. You've probably seen it before. You see the swords piercing her, and you also see the snakes around her, along with a very dark card. It's pretty stormy, right? It looks like conflict is all around her, to be honest with you. Look at the bottom. Very interesting deck, right? Now in this deck, this is represented by air alone. There is no astrological correspondence for this card other than air, at least for this particular deck. And it does pay to note that for June, Aquarius pulled the same exact card. So you may have Aquarius highly aspected in your chart. You may be dealing with an Aquarius or something along those lines. It definitely sort of corresponds in some way, I think. It's just very strong. If you don't know, this is an enormous deck. It's not a simple deck of tarot cards. It's like 4 decks put together. So the chances of pulling the same card for 2 readings is pretty slim. But here you go. We did that. So yes, like I said, this is conflict. It's a bust of Aphrodite. There's snakes around her, and snakes and Aphrodite is linked to the goddess Nemesis, right? And she is the goddess of retribution. And I did touch upon this in your spring reading for June. This is someone that's going from love-minded to nemesis, very defensive. Could be a family member that's pissing you off. Could be a coworker, could be a friend. It could be an ex-lover or a current lover. If it's not a current lover, it will be an ex-lover soon. Your feelings have changed towards someone, period, end of story. There is something going on along those lines. You do have the temptation card, deception. I mean, this could have been born from some sort of deceptive energy for sure. This could be a temptation that you have, but let's look at the rest of the cards and we'll get back to that. You have the Nine of Swords, and this could be giving you some anxiety, some sleepless nights, Mercury and Gemini energy. You have you have the Ace of Cups here in reverse. This is pure water energy. Your feelings for someone have reversed. You are losing feeling for them, or you have lost feeling for them. This is someone who you had strong feelings for at one time, one way or another. The advice here is the Seven of Wands, which is Mars and Leo energy. And as you can see, this is advice to stay focused, stay on your guard, stay determined, and be defensive. Actually be defensive. Defend yourself, defend your... There is a defensive action being called for. It doesn't mean aggression. It means defense, right? It means defending what's yours, being very, very awake and aware of everything. There may be someone who tries to tempt you back into their good graces here, Sagittarius. Somebody that did you dirty. Maybe this is an old wound for some of you. Maybe this is something that just happened. But the bottom line is there could be a temptation, but it is born from some sort of deceptive energy. When we add this up and we break it down, we get the number 4, which is Uranus energy, and it's more Aquarius energy, right? That is the ruler of Aquarius, and it also rules change, right? Something has changed. Something has definitely changed in this situation. Now, moving on to the side, you have Ash. And this is number 33 in this deck. And the Ash card is, it represents memories, right? The past. Could be ancestral for some of you. So like this could be for at least one of you, an ancestor. And when I say that, it could be a family member. It could be a family member. but this at the very least represents the past. And it's telling us that what was is now gone, and it's time for ash to form where that other thing was. Your spirit is calling upon you to be gentle with yourself. It is therapy is a form, letting go is a form of therapy. It's the literal, this could be the literal death of an ancestor. And when I say that, it doesn't have to be physical death. It could be, but there is something that is changing. It could be figurative, the death of someone whose form was not what you originally perceived them to be. Now, could this be a family member? Definitely. For at least one of you, it is. Could this be an ex-lover? For sure. Friend. It could be anybody like that, but it's somebody that has turned to ash. Somebody that had a distinct form that you perceived a certain way, and once your perception changed, they fell to ash. They're ashen now. You have the shaman here, and this is number 16 in this deck. Pretty sure this came out in at least one of your other readings. The shaman is the magi, right? Or the medicine woman, medicine man. This represents study, healing, and after those two things, a doorway to a different world. The unseen is now seen. It's kind of like what we saw here. You can't unsee it, right? They've changed forms. You have the Three of Pentacles here. I'm not going to pick this up. This is pretty large. You can see it. It is the Three of Pentacles, and it is upright in its truest form. Mars and Capricorn energy. You're definitely overcoming something, or you will overcome something with help. A group effort towards success. Now, this could be something as simple as getting support from your friends. Could be a therapist. It could be, if this is a work situation, could be coworkers. But you are definitely working towards a goal and you're succeeding. I'm not really sure if it's always been this way. I think it seems very prominent to me. You could be the type of person that doesn't easily ask for help. So maybe that's why it seems so prominent, but there is something here about that. You have the letters M, T, E, and F. Could be, like I always say, someone's initials, a place, a street, a restaurant, could be a train, could be anything like that. So keep an open mind to this. Fascinating here. You have, God, I hate when that happens. Give me 1 second. Okay, you have the gambler. I'm going to pick both of these up while I have the Chancellor. You have the gambler. And what always stands out with this card is that this person is attractive, this person is winning, and this person is obviously very lucky. So there is something that you have gambled with and won. There could be, you could be winning at life in general. But there is someone here in the background. Yep, there is someone here in the background. Look at this. This is a voodoo doll. Now, honestly, I've seen this come out in readings where someone's actually attempting to use love spells or magic or sending bad energy to someone, right? Could very well be that way. Could be, at the very least, it is someone who is not, who's sending bad energy in general. Like, doesn't have to be magic based. Could be magic based here, Sagittarius. So protect yourself at all costs. When it comes to stuff like that, if you're starting to feel a certain energy around you, definitely keep yourself cleansed. If you need help with that, I'll be happy to help you with that. I'm not going to cast spells. I'm not going to ask you for money, but I'll lead you. I'll send you to different places on the internet where you can go and definitely cleanse your energy. Okay. If you're feeling that way, but at the very least, you have someone that wishes bad upon you. Let's just put it simply. It is negative, feeling very negative. Very negative. Whatever you saw in this person that made you change your feelings is accurate. You are accurate here, Sagittarius. Here, let's look at your charms. You have this charm that says, where there's a will, there is a way. And it is upside down. This is something you carry with you inside you. That desire to forge on. That energy that keeps you going. That light inside you. Even when things are really dark, you find that that spark to move on, right? You have leave me alone. You may have said this to someone. This is right up front. This is not upside down at all. This is something you may turn around and say to someone, just leave me alone. You may have made that very clear. If you didn't verbalize it, you made it very, very clear, or you will make it very, very clear. Get out of my energy and leave me alone. You have, we are all mad here, right? And honestly, this person could hold something inside them, because as you can see, this is upside down, right? This is something that maybe doesn't show immediately when you meet them, but they harbor sort of some kind of psychological problem, and they carry that with them. But what I like here about this is that, you remember when I said this person's attractive, they're lucky, and they're winning. Here you have the shamrock, and it's upside down, which is beautiful. This is something you carry inside you here. You are going to win at life. I mean, simply put, there is someone who wishes negative things on you for whatever reason they have, or will this month anyway. And you not only have the shamrock, but you have the key. You have the silver key, and you're opening doors. You're opening new doors. You're going through the doors. You're carrying luck within you. You know, maybe you always felt like a lucky person. Maybe when you were younger, you could have been in a relationship where that was sort of snuffed out. And this relationship could be a parent, all right? It could be a spouse. It could be a boyfriend, a girlfriend. It could be a job that snuffed out your light. But it's temporary, because being that this is upside down, it's still there, right? That optimism and that drive and that spark is still there. It's definitely still there. It just needs to be sort of retethered to you, right? You have the book here, 1984. 1984 could be some sort of a substantial year for you. It could mean something to you. At the very least here, though, when we add that number up and we break it down, we get the number 4, which is Uranus, Aquarius energy again. Very, very big. It's big in your reading here, that change, right? And just, you know, as a background, if you look up the book 1984, it's been one of the most banned books of all time. It warns us of the dangers of let me see if I could actually say this out loud. All right, I have a problem saying this word, totalitarianism. Okay. And information distortion, right? That people use to repress free speech and free thought. I mean, if you go and you look up the book / movie, that's the premise. But there may be someone here who used deceptive practices and sort of tried to distort information, right? So, you know, you have to sort of look at that with a wide lens, honestly. Look at it with a wide lens here, Sagittarius. It looks like there is a distortionist at play. And if I'm pretty confident that in the Aquarius reading, there was a manipulator in the midst. So it's kind of fascinating. I mean, yours, it doesn't look like your whole reading's about this. Maybe I'm wrong. I really haven't looked at your cards here closely yet. But definitely, if you have Aquarius highly aspected in your chart, or an Aquarius that's important to you, you might want to go and listen to that reading if you have the time, okay? Now, another fascinating thing is you have Jupiter here, right? And this is number 18 in this deck. And we know Jupiter is your ruling planet. It is the planet of luck and optimism, expansion. But what's interesting is that I know in your spring reading, Jupiter was very prominent in general. So that's something to think about. Also on June 9th, Jupiter will be in Cancer. And it'll remain in Cancer for the rest of the year. And it brings potential for spiritual enlightenment, because it's the planet of luck and understanding, and it moves into this caring, intuitive water sign, right? So it's a deep dive into your true feelings about things and trusting your instincts that can lead to really good success, either personally or professionally. Can really lead to you're going to be, for the rest of the year, really examining how you truly feel. And there may have been an instance where a job or a friend or a family member or tried to tell you how you felt, but now I think you're going to discover more about your true feelings about certain things. I like that. I like that a lot. You have these two cards here. And this is Virgo in the 6th house, work, service, and health. Work, service, and health. Virgo in the 6th house. This could be for many of you, not for many of you. I'm not going to say that because I don't really believe that. I think for some of you, it is definitely a work situation. For others of you, this may have affected your health, whether it's mental or physical, while you were involved in this situation. You also have the solar eclipse, which is creation, intention, and potential. And I love that energy for you because it sort of encompasses everything we just said, right? What's waiting for you at the other end of this, for sure. And I know that the solar eclipse, so solar eclipses happen in March and they happen in September. So from March of this year to September of this year, I really think it's going to be a very, plus what we talked about with the Jupiter, I think that between those months in general, March to September, you're going to do a lot of growing. A lot of growth is going to take place. A lot of expansion is going to take place. A lot of winning is going to take place. I believe that by the time October rolls around, you're going to be in a completely different mindset, a better, much better mindset. But right now it is a period of growth for sure. And to drive this point home here, you have these cards are generally cards that someone around you, whether it's one or two people, what they're thinking that they haven't voiced. One is an imposter. It says, I am not who you think I am. Man, does that ring true to the rest of this reading that we talked about over here. And then you have another nurturing presence. And it says, I want you to know your presence is appreciated and I can be a safe space for you. Okay? Beautiful energy. So you do have this great energy. If you haven't met this energy, if you don't know who this energy is yet, you will. It definitely, by the end of this month, you're going to know exactly who this is. But it's really nice you have that nurturing energy around you. I'll start at the bottom here. It says, look for, you're going to, like, yeah, for sure, look for investigation, exploration, search. Yeah, we talked about that. You're going to be doing a deep dive on yourself. You're going to, and that's part of the growth experience. Unless you're very aware, very, very aware of your own feelings and your own thoughts and and they're separate completely from this other situation. You have to separate it and say, okay, this is how I feel, you know? Once you realize who you are and how you feel, the growth will take place. I mean, you definitely. And here you have commitment. It says, commit to this next stage in your development, and there will be a promise fulfilled in some form. Make this commitment to yourself. If you're hoping for a commitment from someone else, you have to make a commitment to yourself first. If you're hoping for, it says a promise will be fulfilled. I mean, it could be a relationship. It could be a job situation. It could be a money situation. It could be anything like that. Anything that you have been hoping for and wishing for, right? But the commitment lies first within you here, Sagittarius. You have here shopping mall. It says a variety of stores, a shopping center. I do think this month you may buy something. You may buy something. Maybe you'll look at it like a splurge. You know, whatever that means to you, you know, everybody looks at that differently. So you might splurge on something for yourself. And I do think it says rewards. You are cashing in on all the good work you have done. Raises, bonuses, and prosperity are coming in. Keep going and keep growing. What is a reward and abundance to you? It could be actual money and goals. It could be you finally being at peace and happy. Could be you feeling secure. Could be a relationship. Could be a baby. Could be whatever it is you look at as abundant is definitely coming in for you. But there is that thing. And I don't think it's going to, I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's going to go past this month. It's just sort of something that just so happens you're going to see. And there is something going on in the background here. It doesn't look like, it looks like you may be tempted in some way. Tempted to forgive them, tempted in some way. I can't explain it because it will be different for all of you here. I apologize for my nails. I am getting them done. I believe on Friday. It's been a very long month for me here. Okay, so we have the Ace, and now we're going to be going down here to your tarot. Okay. And we have the Ace of Earth, and this is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. It could actually be one of these signs that you are dealing with. You could have one of these signs highly aspected in your chart, but at the very least, it is a grounding energy. Okay, so let's see what the rest of these cards look like. I see you have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. The Three of Pentacles in reverse this time, Mars and Capricorn energy. Listen, oh, by the way, yes, I have to say it during every reading. These are three legs to your month. Now, your first, generally speaking, they go in order, but for many people, they do go out of order because, as we know, this isn't a science, right? So your first leg, in fact, I just talked to someone today, their last leg in May happened on their first week. So just keep that in mind here. So you do have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. You could be you refusing help or not getting the help that you need, at least just for this leg, right? This could have something to do with an earth sign, not getting the support you need. I don't know, something like that. You also have here the Three of Wands. And I like that energy. You have a lot of number threes, apparently. Interesting here. Sagittarius, but you have the Three of Wands, which is Sun and Aries energy, and it is growth, looking towards the future with optimism. Maybe that's starting to peak out here, but you have the Six of Cups, and this is the past, right? It is the past, and the Six of Cups is Sun and Scorpio energy. It's nostalgia, right? Could be childhood memories. This could have something, like I said, for one of you, this could have something to do with a parent. Okay, maybe someone you've exiled out of your life that sort of tries to push their way back in, and you have to sort of remind yourself, well, why were they exiled? This could be an ex-lover, could be an ex-friend, could be a job, it could be anything. Just keep an open mind. But there is something from the past that you feel nostalgic about, right? Something that you're thinking about, and maybe that's where this temptation comes in, the temptation to forget what you already know, what you've learned, right? Pretty interesting here. Pretty interesting. Yeah. So when we look at this, okay, and the thing is that you have three number threes in this pile. Number three is it is the planet of Jupiter. It represents Jupiter. We talked about that up here. It is your ruling planet. It is the planet of what? Optimism, luck, and expansion. Your world is expanding. Also, when we add this up and we break it down, we get Jupiter again. It is very, very a big deal in this reading so far. And you are present left and right as far as I'm concerned because of that ruling planet. Okay, here, Sagittarius. Now, going on to your second leg. I can't do this without ruining it. You do have these three cards that came out. One is the harvest card. So you are going to be attaining some sort of a harvest, some sort of reward. You have this may have something to do with family. Look, it's just what I said before. Could be your family, but it could be some commitment, It could be a commitment from your past, okay? If it's going to be different for all of you, and you have air here again. And what does that say at the bottom? It says Aquarius, right? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius to be exact, but definitely interesting how much Aquarius has turned up in this reading. Very fascinating as far as I'm concerned, okay? So in your second leg here, first you have the Three of, wow. So you have the Three of Cups in reverse. And the Three of Cups in reverse is literally right next to the Three of Pentacles in reverse, that number three again, right? That theme. And I can't help but think that something occurred involving three people in this situation. Whatever it is that happened, there were three people involved, okay? Fascinating. Moon in Cancer energy. Three of Cups reverse is sort of like not getting the harvest from something that you put work into, or something that you were hoping to get maybe something out of. Your center card here is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And talk about like no harvest. This is another card like that, right? Saturn and Taurus energy. It's a reevaluation of priorities and you adjusting things. You are waiting on a harvest from a certain situation, a certain person. At one time in your life, either very, very recently, or it could have been in the past, but you are definitely making adjustments, and you're starting to work on new goals, right? There is something different. And this is the center of your reading. Reevaluation of where you have put your energy in the past. You have, look, more Aquarian energy. Look, you have the Star in reverse. Wow. That's a lot. That really is. Okay. So you have the star, which is pure Aquarian energy. You are no longer hoping for something from somebody or something. You are in the process of attaining new dreams, new priorities, new goals, just like what I said in the center card. You're releasing some sort of wish you had. And I do think it's very, very good. It's a very good thing. It's a very positive thing. Okay. When we add this column up and we break it down, we get Pluto, which is Scorpion energy. Yes. And it is a change. It's a reset, right? But more than that, Pluto is in Aquarius right now, and it's going to remain there for a very long time. You could look that up on the internet. So it's in some weird way, it's almost more Aquarian energy. So I don't know what the heck's going on with you here, Sagittarius. Do let me know. Now here on your final leg, you have abundance, gifts, celebration. Everyone loves this card. There's nothing not to love. Yeah. You're reevaluating your life, where you put your energy. You're committed. You're recommitting to yourself, the happiness. You may have recently, like this does say shopping mall, Sagittarius, but this really could be any kind of purchase. It could be property, could be a car. It doesn't have to be something that's bought in a mall, right? But it's some kind of big ticket item that you feel you deserve. And I do think you deserve it. You know, listen, it could be an elaborate jacket that you would never think to spend money on. And you said, what the hell? I'm going to do that for myself. So it doesn't have to be any one particular thing. It's whatever is big to you. And there's no warning attached to that either, right? Or judgment. So in these three cards, the first card up is King of Wands. And with that abundant energy, I love that for you. Now, King of Wands is Sun in Leo, and you could see Lion kind of prominently displayed on this card. This is your fellow fire sign. A beautiful change. A beautiful change. Definitely from ash turning into the burning king. Optimism restored, hope, magnetism, a goal advancement. It's very intense, really nice energy, confidence, moving forward with confidence. Pride, obviously, right? You have the Ace of Pentacles coming in right after that. That is beautiful, grounding energy. A new gift of property, money, or a new gift of brand new goals from spirit. There's something that's been gifted to you. There is something, and the only reason I'm saying drawing property in there is because it's an earth thing, right? So for one of you, that could be very, very true. But there's something that's been gifted to you from God, from spirit, from the universe, from your angels, from your ancestors, whatever it is you believe in. It looks like something's being gifted to you, and it's a really nice thing. And you have here, what's fascinating is you have the Five of Swords again. But look how content this Five of Swords energy is compared to this one, this Aphrodite, right? Yeah, you're still being very defensive, and damn it, you should be, right? Because we talked about that over here. That is something that you need to be. It's Uranus and Aquarius energy in this deck. But you're finding some sort of peace here, but you're on your guard. You're making sure no one comes into your little peaceful bubble. When we add this column up and we break it down, we get Venus energy, Taurus, Libra energy. It is very, very, it's love, it's self-love, it's somebody else. It's love in general, but it's also goals and money and things like that. So I really like all this energy for you here. I do. I like it. Because even we look at this, it's the Six of Cups, kind of clinging to a past hope or a past memory. Looking back, even if it's temporary, goes straight into the Star in reverse, which is like, I'm releasing that. I'm not hoping for that anymore. And then here you have the Five of Swords. You pick up your sword and you're defending your peace. You're like, I'm at peace. I like that. Very nice energy here for you, Sagittarius. Okay, we have in the challenges. Now, these are your challenges, okay? Your challenge column has truth of expression. The truth may be elusive for part of this month. You may have, well, I did mention that there may have been someone in the past here who suppressed your expression. You weren't allowed to express yourself the way you'd like to. For at least one of you, that may be true. But the truth in general may be elusive for part of this month. Have patience with the process here, Sagittarius, because it does look like a good ending here. You have the King of Cups. And the King of Cups could be Sun in Scorpio energy or Sun in Pisces energy, of course, depending on which book you read, right? And which deck you use. And it's a love situation, right? A feeling that sort of that saves you ultimately. Something that's, it's probably, I'm probably being dramatic, but it is a feeling of love. Remember when I told you there is some sort of support here? Yeah, it doesn't have to be like romantic love. It's definitely, well, it definitely could be. It could be there is something given to you in love, and it's some sort of support that really helps you through certain things in your life here. Sagittarius, you have here the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles is Saturn and Capricorn energy. Holding on stubbornly. There may be part of this month, and it's a challenge for you. There may be, you may be holding on stubbornly to anger. You may be holding on stubbornly to hope. There's something you're holding on stubbornly, and it's going to be a challenge for at least part of the month. You have the Queen of Swords coming in sideways, so you're going to have this decision to make ultimately, right? This Uranus in Libra energy. You may swing from being very sensible and very grounded and very, fair to being nasty, Maybe this person deserves it. Maybe this energy deserves it. Looks like they do to me. But bottom line is you're going to fluctuate. You're going to make decisions. And it's going to be a fluctuation for a time. But I do think you're going to get past it here. Here in your opportunities column, you have this union card again. Wait, where? Right. See the commitment there? You have this union card. You're coming together. Now, this could be you and a new person or a person coming together finally, or it could be two sides of yourself finally integrating and you being whole again, right? There's at least one Sagittarius out there that feels that they weren't whole for a long time. Something was squashed inside them from an outside force. But you're being integrated. There is a union going on here for sure. You have the Hanged Man coming up prominently. That is Piscean energy. But what's great is that you see that light around his head. You're seeing things from a brand new perspective. You're seeing something as if for the first time. It's enlightenment. What's interesting here is you also have the Five of Pentacles in your opportunities. Walking away and abandoning something as an opportunity. Pretty sure Aquarius got this. I don't know in what pile. I don't remember. But this card, in a good column like this, it's you walking away and it being a really good thing, even though it's not easy. Or it could be you committing, at least for one of you, you committing and integrating with someone who is ride or die. Do you see these two people? They're going through some crap, man. But they're still together. They're still together through the good times and the bad times. And that is beautiful. That is really a beautiful thing. And here, once again, for the second time, you have the Ace of Pentacles. You're being gifted with something. You are being gifted with something with this earth energy, this grounded, beautiful energy. Let me see if I could. All right, I'm going to have to get another card. I hate when this is out of focus. Just give me 1 second here. 1 second. Sorry about that. There we go. I hate it. I hate when it's out of focus. Okay. So, yeah, you're being gifted with something. I really love that energy for you. It is something being handed to you. Something of substance. Something of substance. Something that's actually enduring. Earth is a very enduring thing, right? And like I said, for some of you, it could be a property. It could be a very grounded, beautiful relationship that you can count on, right or die. It could be new goals. We talked about that. Brand new outlook, especially with that Hanged Man energy. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Mars energy, that Aries energy, right? Another fire sign, passion, confidence as an opportunity. Could be a little competition involved with this. but it's a competition that's going to open the door for something really good. Could be for at least one of you. Really like that energy for you. Let me grab my next deck. And we will do your numerology for Sagittarius for June 2025, please. You have 888. Wow, I love the number 8. It's actually my favorite number. It says, as you focus on all the wonderful things that surround you, you're clearing the path for more positive energy to flow into all areas of your life and creating a place for abundance. Your mantra is, I am abundant. And when I see the number 8, I always look at that like it's an infinity symbol. So it's very possible that at least one of you may be interacting with a soulmate, definitely soulmate material, something that's happened before, right? But it's positive. So you are abundant. I mean, you have abundance that came up more than once in this reading. You are definitely abundant. There is this darker energy around you that needs to sort of be flushed out. I'm going to pull one more card for you, and then we'll do your numerology for Sagittarius, please. Love that for you. Whether you're learning to love yourself or someone is coming into your love life, love has found you. What a perfect card for this reading. It totally resonates with everything we have talked about here, Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, so we add everything up and we break it down. We get Neptune energy, right, which is Piscean energy, and it is a higher octave of Venus, which means that, in the past you may have been taken in certain ways with certain things, but I think you're at a higher level. But it also could mean there could be some confusion this month, but understand, wait it out, let it pass. Feel the confusion, stand your ground, because that's come out more than once. Do not fall for any bullshit or deception, okay? The number that we talked the number that has come up the most in this reading is number 3. And that, as we said over and over again, is Jupiter energy, which is your ruling planet. You are definitely coming into your own here, for sure. And it is obviously the planet of expansion and luck. We talked about all that stuff, right? The planet straight up that we talked about the most, Uranus, which is the ruler of what? Aquarius. So here we have that Aquarian energy popping back up again. Could be this Pluto and Aquarius thing is really affecting you and your life. And it's in a positive way, right? But it looks like there's some difficult lessons that you've learned along the way. The sign that we spoke on the most shouldn't be surprising to you. It was Aquarius. And when I say we spoke on it the most, it wasn't like just me bantering. It was literally on the cards and they were added up, and it was Aquarius. So it's interesting that you got Aquarius and Uranus. The signs we talked about were Gemini, Virgo, Aries, Capricorn, Pisces, Scorpio, Libra, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. Okay. I wish you nothing but the best, and I will see you during your big 3-month reading, which is definitely coming up. Namaste.